And welcome back to Debating Woes here. I'm your host, Judge Dre, right here. Well, as you see, late night, early morning, we don't have nothing to do, nothing to talk about. The show keeps on rolling, so we're going to do another open topic show. We're going to go ahead and put the link there in the description box for the people that want to join. Please like, share, and subscribe. And definitely don't forget to donate, especially the new people out there. So we're going to sit off here early in the morning. As you see, we never sleep.
Yeah, that's true.
As you see, we never sleep. So we're going to go ahead and get the show rolling right here. We're going to give people a couple seconds to get in here because we know a lot of people didn't get that invite until just now.
God
and
damn
of course,
it,
as you
Leslie.
see, the first time the black people actually
Fuck
started
technicians.
the time. We were only 1 minute late. That's on time for black people. 1 minute late. You know what I'm saying? That's on time, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's
it's
early.
Oh, you say 1 minute late for black people. It's early.
Actually, 1 minute later is pretty damn early, so that's fine.
Right,
Yeah,
you're right.
That's about 14 minutes early.
yeah, exactly. Yep.
All right.
You doing great if you're on time.
You're right about that shit. And definitely, guys, thank you guys for coming to the show. I appreciate all the new subscribers. I will say this, guys. We have went from, say, 30 subscribers up to about 96 in 2 days.
Awesome.
All right.
I appreciate the new subscribers there, even though some of you guys might be trolls, but don't worry, we appreciate you guys too. You don't have to worry. If you come on our panel here, you don't worry. Guess what? You're still allowed to come. We're like that over here. All is
Trolls
welcome
need love too.
because the show for the people, by the people, composed of the people.
Make it
What the
funky.
fuck amendment was that?
What was that?
That's a new amendment.
What?
Before the people.
There you go.
Who was
we
you,
go.
John F. Kennedy, nigga?
The chat, hey,
Yes.
Andre, the chat isn't working, I think.
You said what now?
Well, let's see.
The chat's not working. Oh, no, it is. It's just
Yeah,
me.
it's slow. No, it just popped up on my end.
Damn, this is a boy. I swear.
Right.
It's slow.
Oh, my God. I swear, Leslie. Oh, my God. Oh.
Yeah, mine worked fast.
Mine just popped
I
up.
gotta get all these out, man. I'm trying to put them out.
You put them on the same one.
Look,
That's
goddamn
what-
it, look,
Put you in a headlock, man.
look, I don't come to y'all's fucking job and tell y'all what to fucking do. All right.
I ain't saying a word.
When I see you, Leslie, I'm going to fucking throat punch you after this shit.
1, 2, 3.
All
Hey,
right.
we got me crying over here. That dude
You
tripping.
got ceramic coating on your car. Good job.
Hell yeah.
You want to
Hey,
get
we cannot say anything against Leslie.
all right.
KP, you know we might need some
Yeah, leave me
car
alone.
detailing.
Yes, I need a whole lot of car detailing.
Hey,
You know where to go.
If you need car detailing service and you're in the Detroit area, where do they go, Leslie?
CantonAutoDetailing.com.
CannonAutoDetailing.com. Did you hear that? Say that one more time there.
CantonAutoDetailing.com. And for all you trolls that might want to show up to my job, I am armed with a concealed carry permit. So think twice.
And don't worry.
me, dog.
And don't worry, he has a friend right here that actually works on houses and is very good at digging holes in basements.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
I have the keys to, you want to see my letter key? I got the keys to about 100 houses here. That's why I said if anybody doesn't think that Andre is trustworthy, I got about a keys to about 100 people's houses. So that goes to show you any lies you hear out there that I'm not a trustworthy person. Think about it. I got 100 people's houses I can go into if I wanted to at will. And if they trust me with that, what else?
That is some trustworthy shit.
Mm-hmm.
You got the keys, the keys.
And what's where I go? Literally, I carry like 4 pounds of keys around with me all the time. But see, I like it that way because if I drop the keys, I hear it.
Andre, you need to say that one more time clearly because it sounded like you said you carry 4 pounds of weed with you.
Well, what kind of keys are you carrying, man?
Yeah,
Oh, that's so funny.
not keys of dope. If I was carrying 4 pounds of keys of dope around, I wouldn't be sitting right here on YouTube. Look, it would have been a battery in that clock a long time ago.
That could be your front.
Right. You pushed your dope.
And he also owns a dry cleaner.
That's mad suspect.
Exactly.
Right. And the garage and everything else.
And a car wash.
Right
Hey,
about that.
Leslie.
Fan. You king fan.
Yes,
Hey,
sir.
Leslie.
Yes, sir.
If I use your service, you think I get like a little discount?
Yeah, bro. I got actually no, for real though. I charge $125 for an interior, so I'll hook you up with that United Negro hookup, $124.99.
Damn.
Like,
Okay, so I have an AARP discount. Do you take senior citizen discount?
Yeah, that's $124.98.
No,
You discriminating to the seniors, okay?
tell him, look, at least give him $1 off so he can get him a McChicken.
Oh yeah, there you go.
No, but McChicken is like 109. Come on now, bro.
No, check this out. Here's the
It's
deal.
106 here, or 105 here in Michigan.
Here's the deal I'll make. If you're listening, you're from the platform. It's CantonAutoDetailing.com. I'll knock $25 off a detail for you. If you come through,
Sweet.
Nice.
just mention
Sweet.
Dre Nation. You know.
Right. But listen, tell them also during non-busy times. You can't do that. They have to set up an appointment for that.
Oh yeah, I work appointments only anyway, so you'd have to
Right.
give me a call, and all the information's on the website. So.
Okay, now, Dre, if I wanted you to do the installation in my house, can I get the little discount, dog?
And if I mention Dre Nation, do I get a discount?
We're gonna start calling him Smooth.
Listen, I'm gonna just tell you like this: if you need a discount, what I do is this. I know it's more work. I just bring my son. I don't pay him at all.
What's that? What's the one character from I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker? Chris Rock played.
oh, Lord.
Can I just get one rib and one sip of pie?
Pour it in my hand for $1.
I just want one rib.
That's, I need one rib dinner. No, one rib.
One rib. You pull out a whole $100 bill. You got change for 100. Like, nigga, you go get your mother.
Nah, that nigga put out a stack. Shit, that nigga got a
Yeah.
wad.
Like, I'm about to punch him dead in his face. Relocate his face on his face. It's about to be over with. You know, damn way. Oh, he damn discounts.
Y'all are something else.
You know, it's interesting. It's interesting because over here in Greece, we have different nationalities, right, that live here, and they've done something very unique that was done by a lot of the Koreans and a lot of the Jewish folks. When I remember being in New York, they buy and shop their own people's stuff. So if they had a choice between going to a Korean store and shopping, or going to, let's say, a regular white people store and shopping, they'll go and support the Korean store. And I think that helps a lot in the community, because if you support your local stuff, then you don't give the big business a chance to take those businesses away.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. So once again, if you need a car detail,
Right.
talk to my man Leslie.
Right.
Yes, sir. Quality over quantity. That's my motto.
That's right, baby.
Now, I'm going to go ahead and ship out an idea right quick, and this is for anybody who's watching.
Mm-hmm.
Now, me as a person who likes Italian food, if I see Italian black business owners, if anybody actually has some Italian food to stop my ass from going to Olive Garden, I will support. But until then, my ass will be at Olive Garden eating some damn fettuccine the way I like it, you know.
Man.
See, now you gave me another business idea. We so busy stuck on fucking fried chicken and barbecue. Why don't us as black people start branching out and using different kind of cuisines?
Yep.
It's not hard to cook.
That's why I get mad at a lot of people. They talking about, man, support black businesses. I'm like, look, I support anybody who has a good product. I don't care who it is.
Yeah, good point.
If you pretty much, I spend my dollar wisely. So it's to the point where I don't care what color you are, as long as you actually supplying me what I need. That's the whole point of a business. So if you don't have what I need, which is Italian food, I'm going to Olive Gardens, or I'm going somewhere that has some, like Italian cuisine. Being that motherfucker just singing my ass off in Italian, I swear.
Do you ever have that zuppa toscana?
No, I heard that, but no, no.
That stuff is so good, and it's so good I had to make it at home. Like, I took the recipe, I found the recipe, and made that stuff at home.
I like
What is it?
Zuppa toscana. It's a white soup that they serve with a spicy sausage in it and kale.
Oh,
With the potato. The thing is off. It's just fantastic.
My
It's better when
favorite pasta is tortellini, but I like gorgonzola tortellini with yeah, that'll put you down, boy. I swear.
Fuck, I might still. Honey, you gonna have to come out here and cook here soon.
Well, we do make our own Alfredo here. I do make our own Alfredo sauce. We don't have Alfredo sauce out of a jar.
Yeah.
We don't really. I mean, our thing is we don't
Not
eat
hard.
we don't eat pasta. We don't eat. I mean, we very rare. Not that we don't like it, but it's just not part of our diet anymore. Eating pasta.
I can
But
do
that
it.
Alfredo sauce is killer, and that is in the plan.
I definitely love some Alfredo sauce. Most like I marinara and what's the other sauce?
Really slacks.
Wait, what happened?
Slacks, you alright over there?
Slacks is dancing. Slacks is dancing.
Slacks is probably listening. He got the headphones on. He probably like. I mean,
Yeah, Sax.
if I had my camera on, y'all will see some weird shit. I swear. Y'all will see head banging times 20. Y'all will be like, this motherfucker has lost his mind. I swear.
Andre's dancing.
Yeah, Andre jamming out. I don't know what Andre jamming out to, unless he's just mocking Slack.
He's doing the butt dance in the chair.
Doing about ow.
Whatever happened to, matter of fact, think about it.
Flex
Whatever happened to
fast.
EU?
Wait, what happened?
Whatever happened to EU?
The EU or EU?
EU.
EU doing the butt.
Yeah.
I don't even know. A lot of people probably fell off in the industry. That's how it happened to. Oh yeah, he jamming out to his own shit right now.
Back the old in motion now, doing the button.
No.
You want to get up and do the butt there? Press around and do the butt for us.
Who, me?
Hear you dancing.
Are you talking to me, Andre?
Yeah. No, I'm talking to you. I'm not talking about you.
Oh, yeah. I would do the butt dance, but you have to have a butt to do the butt dance.
No, you don't. We'll do the back.
You do the long back.
High booty. High booty.
Woo, man.
Give it a long back. Like, what the hell is that?
Doing the back.
You ain't ever seen a long back before? Like, no, I have not. That is the weirdest shit ever.
Hey, guys, please tell me you have gone on and seen Amy Schumer, who did Milk Lemonade.
Nope.
You got to check out this video. It's a song
Milk
called
lemonade.
Milk Lemonade. You just got to hear it. I'm not going to say it on air.
Oh,
What?
Lord.
Go ahead and say it.
I'm
All right,
saying
she
something.
She said, milk, lemonade, round the corner fudge is made. This is where my poop comes out. This is where my poop comes out.
Oh,
Oh,
I remember.
Lord.
I remember that song. I do remember that now. Yeah.
Now I do remember that shit because I bumped into that damn video.
Right. I remember that shit now. Oh, my
YouTube
God.
is a scary place sometimes.
Man, that song is hard as hell.
Weird shit on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the dark web was bad. It's like you can go in the underworld of the web. Hell nah, YouTube kind of scares the shit out of me in so many ways. Be like, man, what the hell? Where am I? It's almost like walking in a shopping center or something, or walking in New Orleans, or in one part of New Orleans you can go to, and be like, "Hey, this looks good. I'm having a good time." And you walk in and I'll walk to another part of New Orleans. You'd be like, "Oh shit, what the fuck am I?" It's just like that.
Does the dark web still exist?
Yeah.
Damn.
They ain't
It used to
taking
be
it.
very, very easy to access. This was like, 20 years ago.
Yeah,
Now I have no idea.
it's hard to access now.
You gotta download Tor.
What the thing is, what's so bad about it is that, I mean, the feds are cracking down on that shit, and it's to the point where I know you can get on it, and I know how, but I'm not going on it because I'm not trying to have the feds knocking my door, being like, "Come with us," or I'm not trying to be kidnapped. I'm sorry.
Why not?
I won't look. Have you ever heard of? Okay, you seen Hostel?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
There's these things where, and I'm pretty sure everybody has heard of it. If not, I'm gonna go ahead and explain it. This thing called Red Room. Whereas, yeah, I'm not about to do that. Now, for those who don't know about it, is you either get invited to this room or you pay a high bid to be in this room. When you in this room, everybody bids on who has control of the room. So the highest bidder has control of the room. You start out and you see this person tied up to a chair or something, and it's dark, and you see this other dude just walk in there with this mask on. You get to control how this person dies.
Whoa. This is real shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is real.
Yes, real. Yes.
This is real.
Get the fuck out of here.
No.
Yeah. It's so bad. It's so bad. This is how bad it is. It's so bad that a lot of people still seeking therapy from watching that shit. And a lot of people haven't even finished watching it because it's like the screams of these people like screaming being tortured. They have to be tortured until they die. And most people are kidnapped from third world countries or just trafficking.
Human trafficking.
Yeah.
What is this called again?
Red Room.
Honey,
Yeah,
don't
do it. Don't do it. Don't let curiosity. Don't let the curiosity get you. You're gonna be scarred for life.
No, yeah. I'm good on that. I was just curious what it was called.
I
know the white.
I don't need in my
white
head.
room.
No, but you don't want to go to the Red Room. But it's either.
I know the White Room by Cream.
Right.
But this room, you just be glad everybody don't have that type of money to be in there. But if you ever find an invite to actually be invited to that shit, say no. But you have to be in the dark web. The thing is, this site has been shut down so many times, it's been moved. You can do anything in the dark web as far as surfing. You can find illegal weapons, which still goes on. You
a lot of drugs.
Drug paraphernalia. You can find
hire.
Assassins for hire, snuff movies, and all types of stuff. It's so much shit in the black web that just is like this shit exists, and a lot of stuff when I actually like found out about all these things kind of messed up my head a little bit. I'm like, I'm not about to deal with this, bro.
Yeah, there's some visions I'm all right not having in my head. I don't feel the need to go check out some shit, you know.
Yeah, it's that bad. Then on top of that, I don't want the feds knocking at my door.
No,
I'm good.
I got enough
Change subjects for these motherfuckers started knocking the doors down.
What's even bad though is that somebody actually can knock at my door and it might not be a fed. So I don't want that.
It is 3 o'clock in the morning. You knocking my door, I will shoot the shit out of you.
They go see a blade through that door.
I might tie you up and have a discussion with you first.
I don't trust nobody tied up. I'm sorry, that's a great shit.
Well, if you need something to tie him up with, you know who you can hit up.
I got your back.
You got that right.
Can you imagine the cop show up and he's tied up with leather bondage stuff?
If you need to be tied up with leather bondage or any other items, check out the Submissive Baroness on Facebook.
Shameless plug.
That's right.
And if anybody wants death insurance,
That was a dream.
That's not the submissive baroness.
I keep waiting for somebody to call me out on it, and I just find it very funny. I'm sorry.
Deadpool's woman. Run around with death insurance and stuff, so you actually work for Deadpool and I don't know about it.
I just think it's funny because I think it's funny. I'm sorry. I have a weird sense of humor.
You sick bastard.
I'm waiting for somebody to say yes. I want death insurance. That's what I'm waiting for. Nobody does.
Because that shit sounds scary and sadistic as hell.
I'd rather have life insurance, which is the same thing as death insurance.
No, not really.
You're guaranteed to die.
Yeah,
Like, wait, what?
it's right. You're guaranteed to die.
So I'm going to make sure you're dead.
Sound right. I don't think I want that. That don't even sound appetizing. Even say that off my tongue. It don't even roll off my tongue right. You know what? I need death insurance. Like, I can't even, what?
But
like,
you know what? She has a point, though. To say life insurance is bullshit. It is. I'm just sitting here thinking about it. Life insurance? I'm fucking dead. So it should be death insurance.
That's all that is.
You get home insurance, right? That's to protect your home. Car
Right.
insurance protect your car. Life insurance don't fucking protect your life. It protects your death.
Mm-hmm.
And you are one of the biggest life insurance advocates there are.
Absolutely. If you want to come up quick in life, get some fucking life insurance. Stop doing this GoFundMe shit.
Yeah.
If you could look here, I like to hang out and have a good time, guys. You could afford a fifth a month. Let's say you drink some mediocre shit, $40. That's about $300,000 worth of fucking life insurance.
Yeah.
That is true.
Get some life insurance. Or, in other words, some Deb's death insurance. She'll take care of all your death insurance needs.
I'm
Talk
still
to Deb.
waiting. I'm still waiting, KP, for somebody to say, yeah, you know what? I want death insurance.
Absolutely. Talk to Deb. She got
should
your back.
You should dress up like Deadpool for real and be like, hey, you want some death insurance? And people be like, you know what? Maybe. I don't think so. You know what? I'm not trying to die right now. No, but you'll die anyway if you get life insurance, so you might as well get death insurance. The fuck?
Death is such a harsh word. You should call it like mortuary insurance or something. Soften it up a little bit.
No. This reality, we're all going to die. It's
I
death
told you all
insurance.
it's in the approach. Everything's in the approach and the delivery.
Exactly.
Come on,
Like long dirt nap
insurance.
insurance, you know,
look
something
at
like
my
that.
smiling face. Look at my smiling face, Leslie. Do I look like I would be doing anything bad when it comes to death insurance?
No, it's you look like you sell fucking death insurance.
It'd be like, hey, you want some maggot insurance or something like that?
Maggot insurance.
Oh, I like need something to eat right there. Go ahead, please don't feed them.
Damn, you ought to have Corey Taylor from Slipknot actually be a sponsor of that for real. Like, get the maggots insurance. Like, yeah, the pulse of the maggots.
So you want to know what death insurance is?
What is it? It covers your final expenses, right? And then take care of your family, right?
No, from me, if you want death insurance, I'm going to tell you to pray.
Oh my God.
That's all it's going to save you. Just pray.
Like, well, you know what? I think that's the only way to...
I would like to say, Frank Sinatra, shut the fuck up.
So Deb, if you pray for death insurance, what if you're an atheist?
What if you're an atheist? If you want death insurance, then you need to pray, because that's the only insurance you're going to get for death.
So then you guys discriminate against atheists, and I should report you to the government, then, right?
Damn, that's cold, Leslie.
Hey, at the end there, if the atheist wants to, hold on to that in those last moments, to that belief, then he'll go, wherever he thinks he's going to go, or whatever he thinks is going to happen. But if you believe that something else happens to you, See, that's my opinion. I think whatever each person believes happens after death is what actually happens to you. Like my idea of heaven or my idea of hell or afterlife is different than every other person's because it's coming out of my psyche, my soul, my mind. Like everybody has a different vision of what they think the deity looks like, right? Like we got pictures of what we think Jesus might look like and God and all that stuff, but everybody has in their own mind what it looks like. And for me, heaven is like a giant library where I can sit around and in a hammock and read and talk to interesting people. To where heaven for somebody else is they're a bird and they can fly around.
So the guys that suicide bombers and shit that think they're getting 32 virgins and that's what they're getting, they're gonna be up there chilling.
Okay, now you're getting into people who are just evil. I think when your soul speaks for you. So I think that when you are evil, that is negated and you go someplace else. Like I'm talking ideally like a person, like a good soul, right? A good soul. Somebody who's not a bomber. And you have your beliefs of what, your idea in your mind, what happens after death. I think that's exactly what happens to you because that's what's in your mind. So that heaven or hell is going to be in for you. It's catered to you, that afterlife, that after death thing. My experience in life is not the same as other people's experience in life. So that would be logical to say that my experience in death would not be like other people's. It would be unique. It would be unique to me.
Okay.
So if I believe in the fire and brimstone, then when I die, that's what I get is fire and brimstone. If I believe in the void, then that's what I get is some type of void. If I believe in reincarnation, then that's what I get is reincarnation.
Okay. All right. I can see that. I can see that.
Yeah, I don't follow the stickler rules of what, like, I don't believe in the word, I don't like the word religion. I think it's a curse word. I think faith is a better word because you can't really argue. How are you going to tell somebody that their faith, your faith is wrong? Faith is indigenous to each person.
Oh, no, I agree with that. That's one of the things I talk about, like when I talk to Jehovah's Witnesses and Christians and stuff that come to my house. Because most of the time and most of the people that I've talked to, it took some huge traumatic life experience for them to really believe in God. And I tell them that if it took that for you, what makes you think sitting here reading the Bible is going to make someone else believe? You know what I mean?
Right. See, I'm under the impression that he's always been there. I just wasn't listening.
And you know what? That's why I don't, like me personally, I consider myself an atheist / agnostic. As far as my belief value, I'm an atheist, but as far as absolute knowledge, I have to say I'm an agnostic because I can't prove it either way. You know what I mean? So if I were going to say God does not exist as a certainty, I'd have to have evidence for that, and I don't. You know?
Right. I can't really argue the point with a lot of people because for me, faith is something that speaks to your heart and not your mind. And I can't have a intellectual discussion about something that speaks to my heart because you have to get into my heart, or I have to open my heart up to show you what I'm saying, not my mind, because my mind will tell me there's no way that somebody parted the Red Sea. That sounds just unfathomable, right? But my faith tells me, though, my heart tells me that anything is possible in the eyes of a higher power or in the goodness,
Yeah, I understand that. I can respect that. Definitely. That's the one thing I see a lot of atheists, especially these militant atheists, that just really hammer down on people that believe and make them feel guilty for believing. And at the end of the day, you gotta respect people's right to believe in what they want to believe in.
And I don't argue. I don't argue about religion because I'm not trying to. If anything, I don't want a bunch of people where I'm going. If it's where I'm hoping to go, I don't want a whole bunch of simps and stuff. So I'm not. I'm not trying to convince anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like I just let myself speak for myself, and if somebody asks me, then okay, I'll tell you where I got inner peace from, but it's not my job to convince you to about God. That's a personal thing for everybody, and much respect to everybody's own beliefs. There's no right and wrong. That's what I think. There's no right and wrong.
Exactly.
There's intrusion of what's going on.
Yeah.
I feel the same way. I feel like whatever my beliefs are, I don't knock anyone else for their beliefs. I would never do that, and I'm not going to try to. I'm not going to impose what I believe on everyone else. I'm comfortable with people believing whatever they want to believe.
Yeah, same here. Yeah.
And I always find it interesting. I got to say this. I always find it interesting when the conversation comes up, that people who don't believe in my experience, the people that I've spoken to that don't believe in a higher power, whatever that is, want to talk to you. They want to continue the conversation, even though you're like, okay, it's cool, you don't believe, it's fine. They still want to keep talking to you, and it's almost like they want you to convince them somehow. I don't.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, it goes both ways because I know, and I used to be that way when I first turned atheist. I would try hard as hell to convince, the same way like Jehovah's Witnesses try to convince you to believe. I felt like it was my duty to try to convince believers not to believe. And then it dawned on me that, hey, a lot of people I talked to, they said, hey, I was in a near-death experience, or I lost a loved one, and I heard their voice, and I've heard God's voice, and there's absolutely no tangible way to measure that. So how can I say somebody's wrong?
Right.
That's their personal belief, that's their personal revelation they stumbled upon, and who knows, maybe one day it might happen to me. So at that point I started saying, hey, you just got to respect what they personally believe. Now, I'll sit there and argue with your ass about the Bible all day.
For me for a minute, I got to step out the room for a minute. I got a text just saying, watch out. You got control in the room, too. So.
Okay. I said to Ralph yesterday, he was talking about he didn't want to read the Bible because he doesn't want to become a Bible thumper. And I suggested to him, I said, just read it like a book, yo. And me personally, just like any other book, you can read a story like Angels and Demons, right? And you walk away with something personal to you. And I read it and I walk away with something else. It's the same thing for me. Scripture. I don't need somebody else to explain to me what it says. All I do is read it and think about what it's saying to me as Debbie, People trying to explain verses to you. I don't need you to explain it to me. God gave me a heart and a mind, and I can use them and come to my own decision of what it's saying to me personally.
Yeah.
I agree, and I think that the word that you used, the word personally, and I think personal is the key, in my opinion, to religion. I don't care how different people practice. Mm-hmm. Personally, and when you say you don't need someone explaining to you what it means, and I get that, because once a person explains to you what that means, it's taking that personal relationship and adding their twist to it. I don't need someone to interfere in that personal relationship I have. I don't need somebody on the outside telling me I have to act a certain way or do things in a certain manner to have that personal relationship, because anything beyond that is what people have added to it, and I think that's where people have a hard time understanding or even wanting to try to believe because of what man did to it.
Because humans are fallible. Humans are fallible.
Yeah.
That's the thing, like you said, it's a personal relationship. That's
right.
A lot of people.
I agree with you.
A lot of people tend to take it and look at it as like, well, I have to do this and do that and do. I'm like, no, that's not how it works.
That is not how it works.
Your relationship with who you believe in.
Yes.
I do believe in God, and I always had that personal relationship. But and it's like I always tell people, I'm like, he speaks to me different from other people, which that's how you do. If you realize that's how you do with people anyway. You speak to your best friend different from your regular friend, your social friends or whatnot. You speak to everybody different. The thing is, what I also realize is that I don't beat people over the head or judge people. I never do that because that's not how you're supposed to do it. If anything, if anybody, I never understand. And those are extremists. That's what I actually, I've talked to many people who actually don't believe, and I'm like, that's fine. You don't have to. I'm not pushing you. I'm not forcing you to do that because that's not what he would want me to do anyway. But I do say that the fact that whatever you believe in is that I'm not here to shoot down as far as like, okay, you don't believe what I believe in, you go in there. I'm like, I'm not condemning you. What type of person am I to condemn another person? Those are extremists.
I think you're correct in not judging people because people you take that once man enters in between that relationship, they use it to judge other people. And
Right.
you can see through history where they've used it to control other people. And when you have that personal, that personal relationship, you know that that's not your job because we're man, we're human as well. And so for us to turn around and do that would be wrong.
Well, yeah,
So,
that's what you have as those people are bigots and extremists. Anybody who actually takes their beliefs and pushes them on people and then condemn them from not actually like accepting that being pushed upon them are complete bigots. Because what sense does that? That's almost like me taking a Bible or taking whatever I'm saying and just smacking you in the face constantly like you like this? You like this? No, they don't like that. That's just I feel like things come natural if you don't push it on people anyway. People would be more interested in learning about that if you actually would not push it on them. It'll be to the point of like, okay, I have a choice. That's all it is a personal choice. So if people have that personal choice to learn, so it's better to not force it.
and I think that when people ask, sorry, Deb.
I'm sorry. No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, he mentioned that when you don't push it on them, it may make people more curious. But I think when people see good in you and they see how you handle things or how you carry yourself or how you treat other people, and then they get curious in where that comes from. Like, where inside of you does that come from that you can get through these hard times or that you can help these other people? Where inside of you does that come? That's a better approach, showing people who you are and having them curious than than it is to have you going at them trying to force it on people.
You guys know, you guys heard a lot.
It was me.
Talk.
I finally got on.
All right, cool.
You heard some people who say, like, sometimes
Hey, go
they
ahead,
say,
Deb,
well,
you were gonna say something?
Sorry about that.
I've heard some people say about how the Bible is up
Hey,
for
Deb, you there?
interpretation. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I can hear it.
So I've heard people say.
And I know Deb was gonna say something.
Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Leslie, what the fuck are you talking about?
She's talking right now.
I can't hear you.
Leslie, there's something going on with you, bro.
Yeah, leave
Oh,
it
okay.
back.
All right, I'll leave and come back. Sorry, guys.
All right.
Get your ass out of here.
So you know how you've heard people say that the Bible's up to interpretation because it reads like stereo instructions, muddled and stuff and confusing, right? Well, you guys ever think that maybe that was the point of the whole thing? Because it doesn't give you clear-cut explanations to everything, that it was written that way so it can specifically talk to different people. Because if it was just clear-cut and dry... Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, what I was saying was, I live here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
All right, well,
wait, actually a riot going on here.
Hold on,
Your statement, then we'll
okay.
talk. Go ahead, Jeff.
My point is that maybe it was written that way purposely so that each person who reads it walks away with what they get from that interpretation. And like Sub said, as soon as man starts putting their finger in stuff and stirring the pot is when it all becomes muddled. Because it's somebody else's voice trying to explain to you what you need to understand in your heart. That'll make sense.
It does make sense because I think different people need different things. I may be strong in this area and have weaknesses in this area, and they may not be the same as other people. So when I read and what I come away with has either affirmed what I'm really strong at, or both, or helped me where I was weak.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I think it's written that way on purpose so that it speaks different messages to different people for the message that they need. Like I don't buy into that. I don't buy into that. It sounds that it reads confusing. It doesn't. It doesn't seem confusing to me. So.
Well, the reason I think it seems confusing is because they've heard all of these things that other people have said to them about it, so they're trying to read it and fit it into what they know according to what they hear other people say, rather than push away everything that somebody else has said or touched or imposed on them. So it does become confusing because they're trying to fit that into what they know.
Good point. Good point. Instead of going in as a blank slate and reading it that way. Yeah, good point. Hey, I'm gonna put you guys on mute for a minute. I gotta get something to eat.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, one thing I wanted to add to that is and you talked about it. Atreus, smacking somebody upside the head with the Bible to get your point across. Well, we can take it a couple steps further. If you look in the Middle East, man, people actually cut your head off for not believing in the same religion that they believe in, or not believing the same doctrine they believe in. So, at the end of the day, we've got to respect people's right to believe as long as they don't infringe on the rights of other people.
Absolutely, but the point at which they start infringing on other people is what men have done to that word, or what men have done to that personal relationship. They've taken it upon themselves to impose things on other people, and I don't think that it was, in my opinion, it wasn't meant to be like that. I always think of it as the personal relationship. Anything beyond that the human has touched is going to be messed up.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I mean, because I got a friend over in Cairo, Egypt, and I got a friend in Saudi Arabia. One actually has pretty much practiced the Muslim culture. The other one the Christian. So it's not the fact that, and I have all types of walks of life in my life. I've met all types of people who believe in Hinduism and all this and that. Had different conversations with people who believed in different things, and it's like when we all talk, it wasn't to the point whereas it's like I'm condemning you because you're stupid, you're believing in this and this. I find that, to me, I find that the biggest hypocrisy of all time to even do that, because most people, and I've met a lot of atheists who actually say they believe in humanism, but yet you condemn somebody for actually believing in what they're believing in. That's kind of a paradox to even say something like that. They're like, okay, you believe in humanism, but I'm actually choosing to believe in this and have that free will to do so, but you condemn me for it. That's being a bigot.
I agree.
That's just like I've said before. It's what you see in the world of people doing all that craziness that they're pushing and causing all these crazy acts. That's not part of what people really believe. That's hypocrisy, and that's bigotry, and that's extremism. That's all that is.
Yes, it's using that premise to forward their crazy ass agendas. That's what that is.
And
it has nothing to do with what it was meant to be.
Right.
That's where my question as an atheist comes in, because you know, a lot of the religion, most of the religion or discussions that I have mainly center back to morality. And it seems like me as a person, if I had this very pure, loving message on how I wanted people to live, live the best life that they could live, the most peaceful life that they could live, why would I allow these outside entities to come in and taint that message so much to where it can be distorted and all this evil can be produced from it? And I'm not asking you guys to answer that question, but I'm just saying, rhetorically, that's kind of where it comes down to. Why would you set something up so perfectly and then allow it to be destroyed?
Because we don't want a whole bunch of crazy people in heaven.
No, I feel like humans are the ones who destroyed it, and I have a hard time blaming. I don't blame atheists or people who don't believe. I don't blame people for not believing because of what man has done to this. You know what I mean? You can look back through all of history and see how people stood on the premise of religion or beliefs and used it against man. So when they stand on this premise and now it's come down all of these generations, you can look back and see this history. It doesn't perplex me how people ask, well, how can such a good thing do so many bad or have such bad outcomes? But the bad outcomes are coming from the people, the humans who are standing on that premise. So it's not very perplexing. It's not very hard to figure out why, because that's what humans did to it, and that's what humans do. You can see it right now. You can see it every day, what humans do to people. They work to be superior and to control, and that's what humans will always do.
And I understand that premise, but I'm saying putting the responsibility back on God, who claims to be the most powerful. Like me, if I was if I ran a large corporation and I had thousands of employees, let's say I ran a furniture company, and each piece of furniture that my company sells, I've got an instruction manual that goes with it to assemble it, right? And I spent time to make sure that instruction manual was precise and it in detail allowed the customer to put that piece of furniture together so all the pieces fit perfectly, whatever. It would be nice and perfect as soon as they got it assembled. Well, let's say my employees got into the computer and rearranged all the instructions and just started fucking it up. So when my customers get this piece of furniture and they start screwing stuff together, now it's a monstrosity. It's nothing like what it was supposed to be. At that point, wouldn't I correct those employees that fucked up the information, that fucked up the instruction manual?
Leslie, wouldn't that give you an opportunity to see which employees are shitty?
And wouldn't I? Yeah, that's my thing. I wouldn't allow it to go on. I would put a stop to it to not damage my end product.
You put a stop to it, right? And then the same employees do the same shit again. Aren't you going to fire them at some point?
That's my whole point. Yeah. Why? If I'm in control, I wouldn't.
So maybe it's set up that way to weed out the people that are truly not listening. If it was easy, look, man, I think being good is hard. I think being bad is easy. Okay.
Yeah.
So if it was easy to be good, we wouldn't be having this discussion, right? Heaven would be, or afterlife, good place would be very busy. I don't think it's going to be a busy place. I think hell is going to be a very busy place, and I think the point of the whole thing is that to weed out the people who are not worthy, truly in their heart. Okay.
And the weeding out comes of free will. Because if this whole thing is set up, it couldn't have been like, well, I'm the power of everything, so I'm going to force you to do this, and I'm going to force you to do that, and force you to do this. Why bother? Because everybody has been given free will. Right. So everyone has the power to choose. Everyone has power to make choices. I personally have done things knowing that I was doing the wrong thing.
Mm-hmm.
I have knowingly done things that go against what I believe, but I had the free will to do so. And I also had the free will to rein something back in or to make other choices better after that point. And I think everyone has free will to make the choices that they do.
That's exactly how pretty much he works. Would you want somebody to actually be over your shoulder every now and then, just correcting you? You'll never learn anything. It's almost like raising a child. It's to the point where I can give you these guidelines, and I can tell you on how to actually like move around. But at the end of the day, you make that decision. So
And
that's how it happens.
and I agree with you. I
Oh,
agree
okay.
with you on that point. Okay, but
Yeah.
here's where it gets finicky.
Okay.
When you talk about true free will,
Okay.
if I place an apple and an orange on a table, and I say, hey, I want you to have free will to choose whatever you want. True free will would be to place the two items in front of you and step back with no bias, without me placing any bias on your decision at all. Would you agree that's true free will?
With no
To
bias?
make your own choice?
To make your own choice, yes.
Yeah, I would say that I would agree that's free will.
Okay, now what if I pulled out a gun and said, if you pick that orange, I'm going to shoot you in the head? Do you think at that point that free will's been tainted?
You still have a choice. You have a choice to get shot.
No, I'm not saying you don't have a choice. I'm not saying you don't have a choice. But at that point, would that free will be tainted now?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you would be influenced.
Okay, it'd be influence, exactly. So when God's, and I don't know if you guys believe it, and I'm just putting out this so we're having a discussion, that's all.
Right,
Anybody who may be
That's
listening.
okay.
So at that point, when you put down, well, if you do this, you're going to go to hell and burn for eternity. You won't get the reward of going to heaven. Don't you think at that point it's influence and it's not true free will?
I don't know. I don't have all the answers.
I'm not expecting you to. I'm just
I know,
putting them out
but
there,
I do think people have free will. I feel like it's really hard for people to, like Deb said, I think it's hard for people to do what's right because doing wrong is the easy thing. The vast majority of people, it's easier for them to be mean to people than to be good to people.
Yeah.
Well, and to add on to that, to what you even asked just a while ago, I mean, you could have free will, but that doesn't exempt you from free will of consequences either.
Right.
Like
Right.
Exactly.
everything has a consequence. That's also a lesson that's also being taught as well. And I can understand about it being tainted, but from that point on, when that happens, as far as like human beings, we look at it as like, okay, matter of fact, in the neighborhoods, we have dudes who are just saying, well, I ain't had no father, this and all that. You know what I'm saying, my mama wasn't here and I had to go out and sell dope. Yeah, okay. And then you get mad. Huh?
I'm saying he said I had to go out and sell dope. No, you didn't have to.
You made a choice. Everybody makes a choice to do something. You get caught, you go to jail. You get mad at that, and you just like, oh man, the system. That pretty much like that. You can't get mad at that because you made a choice. Now, like I said, you aren't free of consequences of everything you do. Has a cause and effect to everything. That goes to with certain beliefs, and most people always have the biggest thing when it comes to the Bible. They were like, well, the Bible contradicts. I can't say that. I can't say that in certain degrees. I can't say that. But that's just me. But
do you guys think that killing people? I mean, in general, I'm not saying that there's not some people who deserve to die who do bad things, but in general, you think killing another human being, is a good thing?
Yep.
Killing
You do?
I think in
depends.
some cases it can be.
Yeah, it
I'm
depends on the
not gonna
variable.
lie. I
Like when you're
personally
talking
believe, yeah,
self-defense, things like that. Yes.
absolutely.
Majority of the time, we would say that killing somebody is a bad thing, right? I mean, not for defending your family. I'm saying like you went to bug somebody and you killed them, or you broke into the house and you killed them, or you went to rape somebody and you killed them. I'm
Yeah,
saying the bad.
maliciously, yes. Yeah, maliciously, yeah, it would be wrong. Yeah, I agree.
Okay, and we all agree that lying is not a good thing.
Depends on what you're. If you're lying to the Nazis by saying there's no Jews being hidden in your house, then that's a good thing.
Okay.
You know.
I agree.
In general, you want people to be honest, though, right? In
Yes.
everyday
Yes.
life? Okay,
Yes.
all right. And we all tend to think that it's not a cool thing to look at your best friend's wife and want to have sex with her, right?
Right.
I don't know. I wouldn't.
That's not
I
a good
wouldn't go
thing.
that far, Deb.
No, I'm saying it's
As
not.
long as I don't act on it.
It's kind of shady to be lusting after your friend's wife, right? That's kind of shady, right? We all want
We're on Ten Commandments.
we all want our children to respect us and speak to us nicely, right? And we don't want them going around cursing. We want them to speak properly and educated, right? All the things I just mentioned are the basis of the Ten Commandments, okay? Not said though like they're written, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not lie, honor thy father and mother, don't covet your neighbor's wife. When you put it in plain layman's terms, the Ten Commandments were a really good idea as a basis of, be a good person.
Those are innate morals.
Right,
Yeah, morality.
right,
Yeah, it's a basis of morality. Yeah.
Right, and there's a lot of religions that have that same basis. Forget the word Ten Commandments. They have these 10 basic good ideas, right? We can't even get that right. And that's like basic. You see what I'm saying? Basic human stuff. Don't kill other people unless you're defending yourself, okay? Don't go around lying. Don't go around stealing. Don't go around cursing at your mom and putting her in an old folks' home to be abused by people.
Yeah.
Rest on Saturday or Sunday. Take a day with your family. These are good ideas, but as soon as you attach them to the Bible, everybody wants to argue religion with you. Not the idea, but the religion.
Yeah, and that's a good point, because then you start going to, well, did morality come from God, or is morality something that we came up with as society progressed, as civilization progressed, and we started realizing and learning from our mistakes? Hey, we can't continue to continue to progress if we continue with these barbaric ways. Because if you look at history, we were very barbaric. Until recently. Just recently, within the last, probably, I'd say, few hundred years, we got it right and said, hey, we can't treat people this way. We can't kill people. We can't go on their land and just kill them and wipe them out and take everything that they have. We can't enslave people. We can't, things like that.
I think for the most part, people know when they're doing something wrong. Like, I know when I'm getting ready to do something seedy, okay? You get that seediness in you, you're like, aha, doing something seedy. You know when you're doing something wrong.
Of course, yes. Yeah. So where, and that's my next question to you guys. Where do we get that from? You think that comes from God, or you think that's something that we've learned over the millions of years that we've evolved and kind of made mistakes along the way and kind of learned from those things?
Well, I didn't have to kill anybody to find out that killing is wrong.
But you witnessed it being done, and as a sense of empathy, hey, I don't want that being done to me, so let me not do it to other people.
Right, and I did see, I did get the experience lying to people and seeing the look on their face, and I was like, damn, okay, that's not a good thing. But younger, it was harder. Now that I'm older, that's a hard question, because I don't know if it was upbringing or just something inside that tells me, yeah, don't kick that bum in the face.
I think innately people know what is right and wrong. But I do think that obviously we're socialized to know what's right and wrong for the community or the environment we live in.
Correct, yeah.
So, I mean, some things you just know are not correct. And then the rest is you're socialized. Some things that are wrong here are not wrong in other countries or places, you know, or communities.
Yeah.
But as far as what comes from God, I mean, I don't think that. I think our job is to go out and to love one another. That's what I think the whole message is. I feel like once people set out to do good, that's what I was talking about before, and then people see you and want to know where in you does that come from. You know what I mean? You spread that to other people.
Yeah.
But so whether it's, I mean, whether I guess it's hard to say. I mean, for me personally, I want to say yes, that comes from God, and maybe it does. But we can't deny that people are also socialized to do things. People wish to be. People generally want to be obedient to whatever they've been conditioned to do, or whatever's right or wrong, however they've been socialized.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I would have to say then that it's both.
Okay. Okay.
That's just like, to piggyback off that. Yeah. It's what the heck? Oh. Anyway, yeah, the message is to spread love and share love. That's what I always believed with my heart. I've had my own run-ins, like I said before, like with life and death. I witnessed like death upon other people and me facing death in the face like multiple times. So that's a lot of reasons why I actually like share that relationship, and a bunch other reasons why I share that relationship with God. But I also came to terms with I'm not perfect, and that's the whole point too. A lot of people fail to believe that you have to be perfect, and that's not the case. It's basically, these are guidelines, and a lot of them people don't understand. These guidelines were written years ago, and at that time, certain things like in Leviticus, it says pretty much about tattoos. Everybody comes up with this whole discussion about tattoos, and I'm like, okay, you got to understand, at that period of time, it was a high mortality rate, and people don't realize that when you got tattoos, it's not like how today when you can get a tattoo is clean. You know, the tools you use are clean. Well, back then they didn't have tattoo artists that actually like cared if the tools were clean. They used them after they used them on somebody else. Then on top of that, they got tattoos of pagan gods, which was almost slapping God's face. So that's why a lot of people.
It was used for something different back then. Tattoos were different, not just decoration.
Right, and a lot of people don't understand that.
That's the same thing that goes with pork too. You know, the whole, especially with Muslims not eating pork. You know, back then there was no way to properly cook
refrigerate,
and make sure the pork was sanitized. So yeah, it would kill and it would make a lot of people sick. So they just banned it pretty much. But now, you know, we've got ways of sanitizing meat and cooking it properly, so it is safe to eat. So we don't have that issue. You know what we had thousands of years ago.
And still, though, even with the changing times, the basic, like I said, forget the word, I keep saying 10 Commandments, but there's no other word for me to say it. The basic 10 Commandments still are relevant now, even for so many years. You know, tattooing may not be, the whole thing about tattooing may not be relevant now, but don't kill, don't lie, and don't steal, that's pretty relevant, even nowadays.
Now to throw another question at you. You realize there were 618 other commandments, that it wasn't just the 10?
I kind of figured that a long time ago.
But if you look at the Mosaic books, the first 5 books of the Bible, there's it was either 616 or 618 other laws that were passed along with the 10 Commandments. Yeah, you know. There are. And, you know, that's where you get the whole homosexuality is an abomination. If a man lies with a man as he does with another woman, it's abomination. Eating shellfish is abomination. Wearing, 2 linens of different fabrics is an abomination. Things like that, So, what would be my next question to you is, we know what the 10 most popular ones are, and we agree that if those are followed, yeah, they're pretty good rules for a functioning society, for a society to stay functioning and sustain. What would be the purpose of those other ones that really don't seem like they'd be appropriate
Okay.
for a society?
Those rules would have followed back then in the not first, the Old Testament. And the Old Testament, if a lot of people don't know, those were for the Hebrew. That Old Testament was for the Hebrew. New Testament is for Gentiles, pretty much. That's why you have a lot of change in times, and as far as the wording has changed. So that's why to pretty much when you actually go back and read it, he was directly talking to Hebrews if you paid attention to it. He had a one-on-one.
Let me interject real quick, and I'll let you finish.
Okay.
But those 10 commandments were passed at the exact same time. So should we dismiss the 10 commandments as well, if we're going to use that argument?
No. This is what I meant by that too.
Okay.
They were relevant at the time.
Yeah, those were relevant for those, because at that time, I mean, it was based on his people. But you got to remember, those 10 commandments came out at the same time as those other 618 laws. Right.
So that's what I'm saying. So if you can't take out the 10 and just excuse them. If you're gonna say they were relevant for those times, you got to include all of them because they all came out at the same time.
Okay, so we talk about time travel, right? So let's say you were able to go back and talk to your younger self at a pinnacle point in your life, but you weren't allowed to say specific things. You couldn't say specifics. You could only speak in general. Imagine, and you had to write it down. Let's say, imagine how cryptic what you wrote down was to yourself, so you can get the message, because that message speaks directly to you. You are writing it to you, so you understand what you're hinting at. The same thing, I believe, is that other message. It's just each person's got to hear it with their heart. It's not a mental thing. Because I can talk myself out of believing in God 24/7 with my mind, right? But my heart is so strong that I can't deny it. I can't. It pulls at me.
Well, the thing is, even in the first, I keep saying first.
Old Testament.
Let's say the first book, which is the Old Testament. Pretty much the law of the land was follow God's law or die, because it's not the fact that you wouldn't, because if you go back and read it, that society was not functional at all. That's why there was so many laws to do certain things, because that society was not functional at all. It's like if you didn't follow the law, those laws were literally guidelines to the point it's like they were going to keep me alive. So if I didn't follow those laws, I'm going to die, because you don't eat pork. Why? Because you'll die if you eat it. Don't eat it. Don't eat shellfish. Why? Because you'll die if you eat it. Don't do it. That's pretty much why those laws were out there like that. But to continue on what I was saying, it's like, okay, we know we're not perfect. He knows this, which why people miss the fact that it comes with grace. Everything, it's like to the fact that you believe and have that he'll grant you grace to do so. It's the fact that we will never be able to be perfect in his eye whatsoever. He knows that. It's not possible. No matter what I do in life, no matter what you do, anybody do, will never be perfect. So that's the whole point. Is like, okay, we know we're not gonna be. He knows this. He knows we're gonna sin, which is why in the New Testament, the fact that he pretty much had his own son come down here and do what he did. So that was pretty much the premise of that. It's like, okay, that grace comes into play.
Okay. Now I got a question for that. I'm gonna throw a question at you. And this is just to get everybody thinking. I don't know who's listening or watching, but just to get people thinking and
I'm
kind of hearing
enjoying
both
this.
sides of the argument.
The beat.
Yeah.
Let me say this right quick. Let me say this right quick.
Yeah.
This is the first time
Okay.
other than like outside of my brothers or whatnot, I've had a conversation like this and it goes so civil. Seriously.
Yeah.
This is the
Well,
first time.
we're not trying to convince each other. That's the whole point. We're just
that's what I'm saying. And it's like it's comfortable to talk. I'm glad it is because it's so comfortable to talk and have this conversation because
Change ideas.
I feel
Yes.
right and I feel comfortable doing this because it's like I'm not ashamed of what I believe in, but I
Yeah.
don't want anybody to actually just come around and be like, "Oh, you believe in this, and I'm gonna punch you in your face." Like, dog, I'm not trying to. I'm about love and positivity. I'm not trying to. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Exactly.
so. This is why I'm actually glad we're actually having this conversation because right now I'm enjoying it.
Okay, good. Here's the thing, man. I get a lot of Jehovah's Witnesses that come by and stuff, and I always invite them over, and we have coffee, and we'll sit here for 4 hours talking, just like how we're talking now, because it's just interesting to hear everybody else's interpretation, the way they see things.
Why are you messing with them, Leslie?
No, I mean, they're super nice people. And a lot of them have never really sat down for hours and talked to an atheist, and most of them have never even heard the questions that I ask or that I pose. So it opens their eyes, and they walk away from it saying, "Hey, you know what? This is stuff I've actually got to look into because I've never been asked these questions before." And when they come back, they'll come back a couple weeks later and stuff, and they said, "Yeah, we had to dig, and you actually helped me solidify my faith." Even more because it made me go and look and research in areas of the Bible that I've never even bothered to look in, things like that. So it does. Oh,
I
go
like
ahead,
George.
Deb.
I like George Carlin's answer when he was making jokes about Christians.
Yeah.
He was on stage and he was making jokes about Christians, and then after the show, he says a bunch of people showed up and they were just like a bunch of Christians. And they started giving him business about all the stuff that he was saying about Christians and God and da 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 da. So
Yeah.
George Carlin says, "So you guys are Christians, huh?" They're like, "Yeah." They're like, "Well, then forgive me."
Oh man, that's funny.
Outside the abortion, standing outside the abortion clinic, and the premise of being a Christian is forgiveness.
Oh yeah, well I don't even think that. I think that should extend to everybody because look at how much resentment and anger you hold in being mad and upset at somebody for something they've done. That destroys you. It doesn't destroy them. So forgiveness is really for you.
Yeah.
To get rid of all that emotional and psychological baggage to be able to move on in life and enjoy your life and live your life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, self-forgiveness is the hardest one, Leslie.
Yeah. So I think that extends beyond Christian. I think it should extend to everybody, to all humans.
True. But they're always going to, the Christian belief, the Bible thumpers, let's say, that are like turn the other cheek. The whole you're preaching turn the other cheek, but then you come over here and you're yelling at me about what I'm saying. Then just forgive me if you really truly believe in what you're saying.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I understand. I agree with that.
Okay, well, I hope you'll all forgive me right now, but I'm going to have to check out for now.
All right, well, you have a good night.
Have a good night, sir.
Have a good night.
All right, see you guys.
See ya.
All right,
Later.
KP, Mrs. KP, you guys have a great night.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah, exactly, right.
They gonna go back and seriously be like, them Mickey Fickies, I swear. Like, dang it, man. Like, how do they know? They know.
All right, so here's my next question, and this pertains to Jesus Christ coming to pretty much take the burden for all of our sins.
Okay.
All right, let's say you wronged me in some form or fashion, right?
Say
You
I
asked
what?
for let's say you wronged me. You did something wrong to me, okay?
Okay.
And you came to me and you wanted my forgiveness.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, well, in order for you to be giving, In order for you to be forgiven, you've got to run 5 laps around the block, do 25 jumping jacks, and do 30 push-ups.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
After you've done all that stuff, you still got to come back to me, and I've still got to grant forgiveness. Because even after you've done that stuff, I can still say I don't forgive you. So either way, the forgiveness is up to God. So if some dude dies, what wouldn't it still ultimately go back to God in order to determine whether you're forgiven or not, regardless of all those prerequisites or what Jesus dying or you doing those push-ups and all that other stuff? Wouldn't it still ultimately come back to God? So it's like me, I'm pretty much wasting your time by making you do all that stuff. When in the end, all I have to do right then and there is just say, yeah, I forgive you, without having to intervene, having to intertwine all that bullshit.
Right. So okay. So all right. Let me say. I keep going back to the heart and the soul.
Okay.
God is not listening to your words. Okay, he's not for me. He's not sitting around listening to listening to my words and the fake homage that I'm paying to him. He is watching what my heart is doing.
Okay.
So I do not believe that the whole misconception that you could be a rotten person your whole life and then 2 minutes before you die you could say, "Oh God, forgive me," and you're going to be led into heaven. That's not how that shit works for me. Okay,
Right.
Yourself, your soul is a testament to yourself, and each person individually will be, in my opinion, be judged on themselves. You can't you can't pay lip homage to God. It's not like God's like sitting around going, "Oh, he fooled me and got into heaven." No, because he's not looking at the bullshit. He's looking in your heart. And we all have met people, and we know people whose heart is dark.
Yeah.
And then you meet people who you could tell that they're a good person. You talk to them, their heart, there's a light inside them. That's what God is looking at. He's looking to see, I think, or Jesus, how bright your light is. Right?
Right.
Because if you have darkness, you don't want a bunch of people coming in with no flashlights. You want somebody to come in with a flashlight, turn the thing on, or a candle or something. And the stronger the candle, the more you can see.
Okay.
So for me, it's not just a matter of, "Oh, please forgive me." Your heart has to be pure.
That's where that grace comes in. That is, and you're right, Deb. It's to the point where words fall on deaf ears. It's all about your heart, your action is like what you can prove to him. Like, and then on top of that, Jesus will vouch for you first, because it's to the point where at the end, you got to look at it as to the point where God is the judge and your attorney is Jesus. If he doesn't actually vouch for you at that end to the point like, nah, he did this, he did that. If you pretty much didn't do what you were supposed to do on while you here, at the end of the days, and you end up you pass away, because we all gotta go. But you pass away to the point you stand before him and you didn't do what you were supposed to do. It's like he ain't go, no. You had a choice. You had all this time in your life to do what you had to do, and you didn't do it, or your heart was blackened, and you pretty much didn't do the deeds of love at all. So that darkness actually resonates. So I don't want anything to do with you. It's pretty much like that.
Okay. I got one last question for you guys.
Okay.
Both of you. What was your reason for believing? What was the reason that you chose to believe in a higher power, God, or whatever?
Okay, I can start with mine.
Okay.
All right. Growing up, I've witnessed a lot of stuff as far as like growing up in the neighborhood. I Okay, I'm gonna put it like this: children see everything, even though it's like a lot of people don't. A lot of people think children are dumb. Children aren't dumb. Children see everything. I've witnessed dope dealers around my neighborhood. I've seen people be shot. I've been all around this stuff, and paying attention to it still kind of messes with you, but you understand it, but you don't understand it, if that makes sense. Well, in my lifetime, my parents tried to keep me away from that, and they did. I didn't run the streets or nothing like that. I didn't do all this, but what got me the most is when I actually seen them break apart. I've seen my family actually divorce and crumble. Upon that, I've like kind of suffered. I suffer. I still suffer from depression, but I'm better off now than I was back then. Back then it was bad and I didn't know it. So I've been through depression, and I've dealt with a lot of stuff at home, and I dealt with a lot of stuff at school. I was always bullied in school, and I was suicidal at the same time. I've had a few attempts before, to the point where I was cutting myself at that time, and it's been many times that I've tried to like end up taking my life. Growing up, I've tried to shake it, and never felt like I had anybody to talk to. Well, it was upon one time where I've had this talk. I just was in my room, and I had this whole talk with. Before that, I actually had a conversation with a couple of friends before, who pretty much were like deeply into it. I grew up in the church, but I couldn't understand everything about it because I was getting mixed messages from different people of this and what you're supposed to do and this is what you're supposed to do, and I'm not understanding it. But I'm also not understanding how people can be so cruel to people. So it comes to the fact, like, all right, well, I've had that one talk, and I'm like, okay, show me exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. When I got that, I got it. I got exactly what I got: wisdom in life. By that saying, I started getting hit with a lot of stuff in life and learning life lessons the hard way. So I go into the fact of one day, I'm going way down the line now. After I actually got out of the situation with my ex-fiance, and I had that 108 fever, like I said earlier. When I had that, I have.
Oh, hey, Matt Black, mute your mic, bro. We can hear your car background.
So, I pretty much had that 108 fever that it really like solidified everything, because I died. My heart stopped twice.
Oh my gosh.
And I lost a few brain cells, and I fried a lot of my brain cells. Okay. This is what solidified everything with me, because when I died, I felt it, and death is painful. I'm gonna tell you now. That hurts. It hurts. You feel everything. It's to the point where I saw myself standing over myself, and
oh my God.
What I do remember was a big warming sensation. I don't know what I saw, but I can tell you what I felt. But I did see myself. That's the only thing I saw was myself standing over myself.
Okay.
When I came back, I was in a room doped up, and I'm up there thinking like, okay, this has to be what I was looking for as far as like my life.
It just clicked, right?
Yeah, it was just to the point where like everything made sense at that point. Yeah. And even then, like I said before, I was doing music and whatnot. And my music is basically talking about everything I've been through in my life, but in a different form. So, because I was always running from that, I was like, I don't know if I should do this, but I couldn't stop. I quit 3 times and couldn't stop. It was almost like to the point where it was addiction, but it wasn't, so to speak. It was like I realized that was my purpose to tell people my life and help others that goes on, that goes through the same thing too. That's what solidified everything for me. It was like, okay, you know what? I understand what you were trying to tell me. I understood that. So it's to the point where whenever, and then on top of that, whenever I have like a situation goes on, a song will pop up in my head. Not my song, but a song, just a random song. Like when the time my grandfather passed away, which was like 2 years ago. Yeah, it's coming up close to his 2-year anniversary. And when he passed away, it was the darkest time of my life. And the day after he passed, I'm scrolling down my timeline, and there was a song that popped up by this bassist named Grant Stainen, I think his name is, or whatnot. And the name of the song was called "Run of Angels."
Oh,
and when I listened to, because I was hurt at that time.
As you see, talking about, look at the chat room.
But as I listened to the song, it calmed my nerves, and I knew that basically, he was talking to me that way. So yeah, that's pretty much solidified everything with me, especially like when that 108 fever happened and my heart stopped twice. That solidified everything completely to the point where, like, okay, all right, I know what I'm supposed to do. I understand. My heart is with you, so yeah, let's roll. So that's pretty much what solidified everything with me.
Okay. What about you, Deb? Is she talking?
Deb, you muted, Deb.
No, sorry, I was on the phone.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Oh.
Yeah, wow, that was powerful. For me, I want to make a joke, man. Okay, God is the only thing that's keeping me from killing a whole bunch of people.
I can attest to that. I can understand that.
I have to agree with you. There came a point in my life. Okay, first of all, it always seemed to me that there was something or someone, I don't know. And it usually happened real late at night, right? Like when you're rehashing the day or whatever. Yep. And you get this like, you could tell yourself talking to yourself, but then you get like this feeling of something else. And I was like, I couldn't hear it clearly, and I wouldn't jump on it right away. I was just like, wait, what's that? I'm being soft, right? And then it just kept getting louder and louder. Like my heart kept, something was pulling at it. And then I met some people from way back in the day. I'm saying I was like 23 years old, so that's like 20 years ago, right? And I saw how they were, and it was such peace in them, like a stillness in them. You know what I'm saying? And wait, hold on a second. There was a stillness in them, so I was like, wow, that's pretty wild, right? So I started listening to the stuff they were saying, and then that led me to start reading, right? So I read for a while, like the Bible, like a book, just like a book, right?
Yeah.
But I couldn't deny that there was something, that there was something pulling my heart to read more, to find out more. And next thing I know, I just kept reading, and I was just taking it, for a grain of salt. And next thing I know, that voice got louder and louder and louder, and I couldn't not listen to it anymore. Okay, so I gave into it. I was like, okay, let me listen. And when I started listening, followed. Like things started changing, and even now, when something's getting ready to go awry, there's a song in my heart, there's a voice in my heart that says, "Well, take a pause," or "It's time to be quiet now," or "It's time to go now," or "Hey, look at that person over there. They need help." So I think it was gradual for me. I think it was gradual, but when it finally kicked in, it was undeniable.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
What's
So,
up, man?
yeah.
Well, guys, I believe now. I'm a believer. No, I'm just playing.
It's like I was saying, you're right in the Hangout chat. Just read that.
Hold on, I didn't get it, Andre, because I'm on my phone, but I got my computer open. Let me log back in. Just
When you go there, that's all.
okay. Let's see.
Put my damn hair back.
Just to let you know the bullshit. You know what I mean.
Let's see. I don't even. Okay, yeah, I'm going it this way. Here.
Craziness going on again.
Yeah. Well, we're live. We won't discuss it here live. Let's see.
Like I said, I don't know. I'm not.
Hey,
trying
Dre,
to...
see if you can retype it because it's all the past stuff doesn't show up on the actual Hangout chat box, the live Hangout chat box.
I look like a Kuma now with my hair like this. This is awesome. Sorry, random.
But yeah, I just think it's cool when people. I think the best discussions of religion can have when no one's trying to convince each other. You know what I mean?
Right, right. And that, like I said earlier, I'm not trying to convince anybody to do anything. I mean, if it helps, actually, that's cool too. But I'm not trying to do that. My whole thing is like to have this discussion and actually like express it without any ill will or any type of grudges going on. Because I feel like I can't do that often, and I feel like that's ridiculous in the world where I can't actually express myself or express how I feel about something that I am proud of, but I'm not gonna push it on you. I just feel like it should be a discussion like we just had. I mean, for people who tend to shove and condemn those who actually condemning people for actually believing in certain beliefs, I find that ridiculous and hypocritical.
Same
In a
here.
lot of ways.
Same here. I agree, brother.
I can't understand that. And on top of that, I'm a big empath. I that's how I am. I put my heart on my sleeve, but I also feel other people as well. So that's another reason why I can't do it. Like I said before, I've been bullied most of my life, and what it looks like, that's kind of that makes no sense for me to go bully somebody else because they don't believe in what I believe in. So I don't understand that.
Yep.
I never will get it.
Mm.
Well, a lot of people, and I think it goes back to, it all goes back to emotions, man. When people get drunk with emotions, they lose it. And they're not able to be rational and be civil and have conversations. And, because you got to be honest, man, a lot of religion really taps into people's emotional state, you know what I mean? And I think once that emotional trigger is pulled, it's all hell breaks loose, and then they can't remain civil. They've got to make threats and, like you said, judge you and threaten you with this and that, and I think it's a bunch of bullshit. I think people should have a right to believe what they want to believe or not believe or do whatever, as long as they're not forcing their shit on you.
Right.
That's what matters.
They got a big religion is really big here in Greece. It's Greek Orthodox. And, a lot of the Christianity Christianity. It's like a Christianity and Catholicism mixed kind of, and
Yeah.
so they have like icons and stuff. And you go to church here, and there's these icons, and everybody goes up and they do their cross and they kiss the icon. And I do not do that. I think that's idol worshiping. I believe that God's not in that icon. Okay, let's be real. Okay, but anyway, but people look at you, man. They look at us here. To me about my son, like, you don't want him kissing the thing, and I had to, there's no when someone holds on to a belief that strongly, you're not going to convince them of anything. You're not going to talk your way into their mind or their heart. That's why, just like Submissive said, it's such a personal choice that no one can convince you. It has to be you, has to be a wanting.
Yeah. Yeah, that's you're right. I mean, most people, they haven't hit that mark in their life where they had that one-on-one talk or whatever moment to actually like spur out and be like, okay, this is what I truly believe in, and this is how I'm gonna stick it. A lot of people haven't had that mark in their life.
Here's something else interesting. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Okay, but for the people who have children, right? So I didn't get this till I actually had a kid. So my son does stuff, right? He makes mistakes, and everybody does, and we have rules, what you got to do. And every once in a while, people make mistakes and they fuck up and everything. And I watch myself to see the amount of patience and forgiveness that I have for him, right? And of course, it's huge, right? You have patience to teach your child slowly. They make a mistake, you help them up, or you tell them, hey, try this way next time, whatever. In that same logic, if God is our Father, wouldn't He be showing us the same amount of patience and understanding that we show our own children? And 100 times over, because He is omnipotent, let's say.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, it's never-ending patience. That's why we can continuously fuck up, and it's not always detrimental.
Well, yeah, that's another thing a lot of people don't realize when it comes. See, this is the misconception a lot of people don't realize when it comes to God. See, we're in a realm of time, space, and matter. Outside of that realm, that doesn't exist, and people tend to look at it like, well, how can this be? I'm like, well. That's almost like me creating a computer or whatnot, and the being inside the computer can't see me, but believes that I'm there. It's pretty much almost in that same aspect in certain ways. I don't know if I use that analogy right, but still, that whole patience, as far as like what we don't have an infinite amount of patience like that. We don't even have that amount of grace like that. It's impossible, because everything that we have, everything is limited. There is no limit outside of this realm. That's what a lot of people fail to understand. That's that misconception when it comes to that.
Also, imagine being a rocket science or a physicist, right? And you got to explain something to somebody who's not a physicist, somebody who's a car washer, okay? Are you going to use terms that only a physicist is going to understand? No, you're going to use simple terms because you're going to cater it to the audience you're talking to, right? So if God is trying to explain something to people that only God understands, wouldn't it be safe to say that He would try and use the simplest terms that we can get? Like, don't kill each other. Like, don't lie.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at it, because a lot of people look at the Bible as like, I can't understand it. I'm like, well, for one, to be honest with you, it's written in poetic format, and a lot of people fail to understand is like, if you can read poetry, you can read that, because it's like it's like an epic.
So let's say you're trying to teach you guys how to speak Greek, right? Okay, but everybody in the room speaks a different language. One speaks Chinese, one speaks Jamaican, one speaks Spanish, one speaks English, right? If I'm trying to teach you how to speak Greek, it would be safe to assume that I need to be able to speak at least a little bit of the language you speak so I can convey my message. I think the Bible is in the same thing. It's written purposely like that so that it speaks, I said it before, so that it speaks to each person individually. That's why you can't take somebody else's word for it. That's why, for me, priests are obsolete. You know, that's an obsolete profession.
Yeah. Yeah.
You want God talks to everybody. Okay, everybody, every day, all the time. In my opinion, all day, all the time. If you're not listening with the right receptacle, you're not going to hear it.
Okay.
Yeah. That is, yeah. I can agree to that.
Oh man, I'm sorry.
No, that's not good.
Answer that phone, Deb.
But it is cool that we're having this discussion though, because I've, like I said before, I've never had a discussion this calm before outside other than my brothers. We have
Yeah.
conversations like this all the time.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you know, just other people is like almost to the point where like, yeah, are you gonna actually like spaz out just because I'm actually talking about this? Because if you are, I'm not gonna talk about this.
Oh yeah, and a lot of people do, man. I gotta admit, I was that guy when I first became an atheist because I was like, oh fuck yeah, I got this. I sat there and read a bunch of the Bible. I'm like, okay, cool. I got all these fucking weapons I can use, knock these Christians on their ass, shit like that. That was the mentality I had. But it dawned on me that hey, you know what, retard, people have a right to believe what they want to believe as long as they don't infringe on your personal rights, and let them be.
Right.
So now I just, I have these discussions, like I said, when the Jehovah's Witnesses come by, and we talk just like this, and it's more of just trying to understand their perspective, where they're coming from, and vice versa. A lot of them have never spoken to an atheist. They think atheists believe in the devil, we eat babies, and all types of goofy shit like that.
That's that's funny too. 'Cause a lot of people, I trip out about that. I'm like, no, I don't think that's possible. But okay,
Yeah.
that's just
Well,
like
oh,
even
go
the
ahead,
style of music I listen to. A lot of people trip out about that. I'm like, dude, I can listen to heavy metal and actually like still believe in God. Who came up with these rules and saying I can't do all certain things? It's like, but that's the perception that everybody has when it comes to different beliefs. It's like you can't do that, especially like when you believe in God. People are like, you can't do this, you can't do that. Who told you that?
Well, see, and that's my thing, and this is one of the big gripes that I have with God is that, and it goes back to my analogy with the instructions and the furniture. If you had something that was so pure and meant so much to you, me personally, there's no way I would allow anybody to taint that message. I wouldn't even allow it to happen, to where there can be so much confusion and stray so many people off the path that I want them to be on. So that's kind of my opinion on that. You know, um, but like I said, man, I classify myself as an atheist agnostic. Because I don't know, I don't have proof that he doesn't exist, and
Right.
I would like Christians to admit that they don't have proof he does exist, and that it is a faith thing, it is a belief thing based on personal anecdotal experience. That's the one thing I just wish they would be honest about that, because there is no tangible proof for God. You can't say, oh, well, there's clouds and trees and earth. No, I'm sorry, that's not tangible proof that proves a God exists. You know, so I just wish people would be a little more honest and say, hey, yeah, there's no way I can prove it. It's just something that you've got to personally experience and stumble upon when the time is right. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, I can dig what you're saying. A lot of people actually look at it like that. Well, as far as like needing proof in front of you like this, like I said before earlier too, everything outside of here, like I said, this the realm we live in was based on space, time, and matter. Outside of that realm, it's pretty much it doesn't exist. It's pretty much timeless. There's when you get something that's what's the word I'm looking for? Omnipotent. Something that is an omnipotent being outside of these walls. Because inside has limits, outside doesn't. It's more to explain. Like you're right of one thing. It's like it's more to explain, but you do have to feel it. Another thing I will say though is that I can say he does live through me in a lot of ways. As far as like in my heart, I feel that because day to day, the thing is certain things I have done and have seen. I can never explain to people. I can explain it to you, but you'll never actually feel the way I felt at that moment. It's possible. I mean, well, it's not impossible to make you feel how I feel because I mean we can do that since we are human beings, but it's a little bit more complex than that. So yeah, I mean that has to be to the point where I can like through the joys I've had as far as like you know experiencing with this that's it's a wonderful experience, but it's something that I can't just explain with words. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's just the one thing about it. It's more than just words. It's a little bit more than that. It's a lot deeper than that.
Yeah. I hear you.
But yeah, I mean, a lot of people will try to force the idea of what it is, and I'm like, yeah, you can't really force these on anybody. But snap, I'm trying to. My stuff in here is it on? Yeah, it's on now. Good. What the heck? Trolls happening?
Yeah, they're starting to come, but I'll just ignore them and they'll go away. We'll take care of them.
I'm not worried about it, man. You already know, man. I got a text letting me know. They want to be childish. You having fun, Levi? It's nice to know that, hey, I was good enough to be bothered. That's nice to know, man.
Oh.
Nice to know, man. Look at that. I'm worth wasting time for to be bothered. Nice to know, man. Thank you.
Well, Dad must be. Oh yeah, Dad must have been actually on the phone. Slacks, what the hell are you doing? Slacks all quiet.
What do you want from me?
The game, bruh. Man, hey, for real though, our secondary, well, I can't say 100% on our secondary, like talking about our defense did do what we were supposed to do, but our offense didn't kick in. So, yeah. No, I'm talking about the Niners game today. I don't know.
It's the Browns fan.
I mean, we got a slew of talent though.
And Leslie's the Lions fan.
What's up, Slacks?
I said you're a Lions fan.
No, I'm not. I'm not into football, man. I'm a baseball guy.
Who's your team for baseball?
My favorite team?
Yeah,
Oh, Tigers. Detroit Tigers, of course.
kind of figured that.
Baseball ain't been no since it was black.
See, all my teams are West Coast teams, and it's funny because I'm from the South, but
Wow.
it is what it is. I am not. I have never been and never will be a Saints fan. I am not a Pelicans fan.
Why you shaking your head?
There, I even explained this to Slacks yesterday. It was like, because I was like, no, I will never be a Saints fan for a lot of reasons, but or a Cowboys fan either. But Saints fans and Cowboys fans down here don't get along at all. It's that bad. It's to the point where I feel like it's one giant ass gang going on down here, even though we don't have no games. When football season come on, oh, it's shit hits the fan for real. That's when you see friendships split in half and everything, family split in half when it comes to football season and shit. Like football season is boy, it go down. Especially like college football when LSU play and Southern play, it's over with. But all my teams are pretty much like in NBA, I'm a Laker fan. When it comes to football, I'm a Niners fan. Baseball, I like the Angels. Hockey, I like the Ducks. So, yeah. All my teams stacked West Coast teams, except for college football. Wait, what happened?
I like cricket.
Man, you breaking up.
I'm a cricket fan.
You a what fan?
I'm a cricket fan.
You said a cricket fan.
That's what I keep getting at.
Yeah.
A cricket fan?
Yeah, flat bat.
Like what?
I'm going to your Dropbox looking for samples, dog.
Yes, indeed. Oh, dear God. Oh, that's dope. Oh, man. What the oh, okay, cool.
Hey, Leslie.
Yes, sir.
With heavy piano in it.
Anything with heavy D?
Heavy
Hey, log out, log back in, because your mic's like really.
Yeah, it's weird as hell. You just doing that robotic thing again. All I heard was I'm like, what? Like, I cannot understand what you're saying. No, sir.
Down.
Okay, now you.
Oh, okay. I was saying, Leslie, do you have anything with heavy piano in it?
Ooh, no, not that I can recall. Not sure. I may have something in that folder that I sent you. But as far as like my personal DJ folder, that my club folder, I don't have anything. The only thing with the heaviest piano I got is probably Biz Markie, Just a Friend.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Wait, heavy piano as in like how heavy?
Huh?
How heavy?
How heavy?
Like yeah.
Give me an example.
You talking to me or Leslie?
I'm talking to you.
Oh. Oh, he said how. He said how heavy, so I thought you were talking to him. Trying to think of an example. Oh, like that Alicia Keys song.
You don't know my name?
Yes.
Okay. What can I recommend for something heavy? You trying to sample something?
Yes.
What?
Okay, here we go against Bush.
I'm trying to think of a nice jazz record you can use.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you good.
All right, yeah, it just went down again.
I'm trying to think of a nice jazz record with some heavy pianos. Shit. Cause you looking for some detuning. That's what you looking for. Well, she played on a, yeah, her stuff was kind of detuned in a way. That wasn't a regular E-tone chord that she played on. So you looking for something.
Oh, this is my shit right here. He got Kansas Dust in the Wind.
Here you go, robotic. Atto rebato.
Dust in the wind.
Jamiroquai. Virtual Insanity is another one. Try using that.
I didn't even spell Jamiroquai.
I've sampled Jamiroquai before.
Jamiroquai was a question.
Wait, what?
I said, how do you spell Jamiroquai was a question.
You got a Google app on your phone? You know Google is to the point where you can speak the word and it'll pop up. But I'm gonna do it for you. So hold on.
Insanity. I got it.
Oh, you got it now? Or you could have just said virtual oil. What the hell did she put on her damn profile pic? What the fuck is wrong with you? Sorry about that. That was just random as all hell, but still, you know.
What happened? I missed something?
I went on a random rampage because I was looking at like one of my Twitter friends put up some crazy ass profile pic, and I'm looking like, what is wrong with you? It's always some random shit. I said not next year, year after next. I'ma pretty much get me a 7-string guitar. I like my 6-string, but I want to upgrade. Yeah. What are you doing? The fly? Everybody just quick on this joint.
Yeah.
What?
Everybody disappeared quick.
Yeah, we got the bullshit coming in.
Hey, Andre, you want to go ahead and shut it down, man?
I notice I'm having trouble with the Hangout. Do you have control on the Hangout?
Yeah, let's see. I think I do.
See if
Oh, wait, as far as shutting it down?
No, I'm not shutting it down, but see if it has it to where, yeah, you can boot people still.
No, yeah, he didn't give it to me on this one.
I did give it to you, but it should be.
Yeah, it's saying I'm in a moderated call. There's no controls.
Bullshit
on the
again.
side.
I said, as you see. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. All right, fellas. We appreciate you guys coming out to watch the show. We got the idiots starting to come in now. I guess it's time to call it a night. Anyway, we will catch you guys on the flip side. Please like, share, subscribe, and definitely donate to help us deal with the dumbass motherfuckers that still want to cause problems. Thank you. Oh, they don't want even let me end the show.
Damn,
Don't you love it?
that's crazy.
Yes.
Damn, no shutdown.
It says, "Oh, we're not gonna let you end the show."
How is that possible?
Yep.
Oh, that's a shame.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. Don't you love the bullshit?
You know
Mm-hmm.
that bullshit.
Oh yeah,
Alex
yeah.
Sherman.
Mm-hmm. That's what I said. Ignorant.
What is stopping you from shutting down everything?
Yes, it is. It will not let me. The shutdown button is missing.
Wow, that's crazy. That's bananas.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know that was possible.
Sometimes it is. Google the Hangouts thing is new.
I hate this damn song.
Yeah, it's very new. The Hangout thing is very new.
Hello, mother. Hello, father.
So they have a lot of fucking problems.
Yeah, I think everybody's starting to jump on and use it now, and I don't think they're ready for all
Wow.
people that are using it.
Mm-hmm. Well, see if that will make it cut off right there. Yep. How you say niggas? Right there.
We're going down, down, down the ring of fire.
it, it's very it's very funny to see the bullshit that people go through.
Yep. Just like I said, let you know what their character is.
Mm-hmm.
It just opened your eyes to how many ignorant, retarded people are in the world. But it doesn't faze me, Dre, because if you look at the rest of the animal kingdom, there are more Bravos and Alphas, and that's how it's always going to be. You got more followers,
Mm-hmm.
and that's just how it's going to be, man. So why you got to be in a position where you're completely 100% independent, so you don't have to rely on anybody else.
Right.
Feel like you're obligated to lie, be dishonest, be deceitful. When you're independent, you can always stand up for the truth no matter what, and not fear any backlash or repercussion.
Damn,
Yeah.
bruh, what the fuck?
What is what is wrong with you?
I'm looking at the footage of um like that's maybe like what 5 minutes away from me that's like completely underwater.
Mm.
Damn, bruh, I don't know because they already declared everything over here a state of emergency. So this is bad.
Well, and I don't know why the show still will not go off live.
Street.
Huh?
I was end up singing a song that popped up in my head, random.
Hey, what's his name?
I said
A-Train.
Rap,
A-Train.
huh?
huh?
You buy VSTs even though you do live instrumentation.
Huh?
Wait, you breaking up? I can't hear you.
Oh, damn. Hello?
Yeah.
I said, do you buy VSTs even though you do live instrumentation?
No, I don't have to buy VSTs because the only thing I purchased last besides yeah, it was called Complete. This program called Complete, which pretty much had everything I needed, and I don't have to purchase any VSTs or anything like that because like I have real string sounds. If I have authentic uh flute sounds and ocarinas and different types of woodwind sounds if I wanted to use them, jazz, if I wanted to use different like saxophones or whatnot, I can do that. But I rather play that than use it. So
I'm talking about like effect VSTs, you know, to mix the sound after you record it in your program.
you talking about like different plugins?
Yeah, like, you know, just advanced plugins to do the mixing and shit,
Yeah, like
like
mixing and
reverb
stuff.
and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well, that comes with the complete too, because I mean, it has different
Hell
stuff.
no.
Yeah, it does, because I mean, I have
Oh
different stuff on
no.
it, like Pro Tools, like for my mixing. I have different things on there that I didn't have before, especially like since I have like the newest version of it. So
What you talking about? What guitar rig you be using and that other shit reactor?
I use Guitar Rig because I mean it has the plugins I've been actually wanting to use for my pedals. So I mean when I actually get me a control board, instead of like buying all those pedals, I can just add that to my control board and stomp away if I want to.
Boom, 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 boom. Bang, 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 bang.
Yep.
Excuse me. I'm black. About to see
Right,
what I
right.
can do with this Ray Charles sample.
Which one?
Busted.
Uh-oh.
Say we gonna make. I feel like Eminem when he said, "Don't worry about that new Detox album from Dre. We gonna make that nigga do it. It's like we gonna make you." Yeah.
He didn't do Detox, but he sure did do Compton, and that shit was dope.
What he did
He,
to put another album?
he dropped the album last year.
Yeah, you know, Dre live under a rock, so you don't know that type of stuff.
Forget you.
He dropped out. It was like that was like one of my favorite albums. It was too many damn albums that were good last year. It was ridiculous. He dropped Compton, and a lot of people were like, man, it wasn't. I'm like, nah, y'all expectations were a little bit too high. That shit rolled. Every song on that rolled it out. But yeah, that was his last album, pretty much. He dropped.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, nah, I'm gonna scrap Detox because Detox didn't come out the way he wanted it. He scrapped it, did Compton, and Compton was dope. To me, like my favorite song on that joint is Deep Water. That Deep Water goes so hard.
Detox would have been dope. It just took too long to put it out.
Well, I mean, I can understand why he would have, but then again, I wouldn't want. It's like the type of idea he wanted to do. It would have been a giant clusterfuck. It would have failed anyway, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Why is that?
Because the time of you got to look at how many artists over the time he actually like put on that damn thing. He didn't have a specific set concept. It was to the point where it kept growing and growing and growing. So the older songs you did for this concept are not gonna fit with this newer sound and these new verses, these fresh verses, compared to something that you've done that's old and kind of sound dated because you let it sit there for so long. So it was kind of to the point where he was just like constantly creating and sometimes getting bored of it. So when you have that situation, and we all been in that situation before, of like creating, like you make something and you like, oh, I like this sound, and then all of a sudden you stop working on that sound for a while because you got bored of working on it for too long. Come up with something fresh and concentrate on that, and you like that. Then the older sound you had, you like, okay, I'm gonna try to go back and see if I can actually do something with it. And you don't like it anymore, so you scrap that and you try to make something else. It's a constant cycle of I don't like something, but I'm a perfectionist. So it's really that annoying, but at the same time, I understand where he was coming from. It would kind of backfire because I mean, the time if he would have dropped that shit in around 2007, it would have never worked.
Mm-hmm.
And Dre always dropped albums to the point where it's a certain time and a certain execution of doing so. The time he dropped it last year was kind of perfect for it. So yeah, I definitely understood what he was doing. Who won this damn fight? Oh wait, it's not ready yet? But I can understand that creative mind about Dr. Dre. Ooh, that dude tripping.
Yep.
Oh man, Sherman was underwater.
All right, let's see.
Trying to get it straight.
It still will not let me. That's fucked up, ain't it?
How is that even possible?
It's the button that disappeared.
And you tried leaving and then coming back too, huh?
Yep.
my shit is out of tune. I gotta tune my shit back up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit!
What?
Nothing. Just a reaction.
You know, and it will not. It says.
All right.
Oh,
Mm-hmm. They're saying that. Sitting up here saying, "Oh hell no."
damn! Everything was underwater today. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, you think you gotta shut down your computer? Oh,
Tried that. I already tried it.
you already tried it?
Yep.
Damn.
Signing out. What about signing out?
Tried
Yeah,
it.
I'm about to go over. I'm about to go over here and kick Alex's ass. She's
Mhm.
being stupid again. Give her a
What is
verbal, logical beatdown.
What happened?
Um, she was asking for the link, saying, "Is there a non-live link?" So I called her out on her bullshit. I said, "Why are you requesting a non-live link?" She's like, "Because I don't know these people on these other hangouts." I said, "It's funny because you didn't know anybody when you went on Tommy's hangouts the last couple of times, but it seems like ever since he started his North Korean dictatorship, now you're scared to go on live because you don't want to be banned." I
Mm-hmm.
said, "It's crazy how grown ass adults are scared of a man on YouTube they don't even know." So now she's going all irate, and everybody's like, "Damn, good call, Les." Yeah, she can't stand me because you know me, Andre. I call it how I see it, man. I don't bullshit anybody.
Well, this is the problem is, Leslie. I appreciate that, like this is. You guys like this. If you even think that I'm fucking up, you can call it like it is. Just because, I mean, no offense. I would rather you say, "Hey, Dre, man, you fucking up this, that, and the other." Like you told me, "Hey, Dre, you didn't really need to come out and call dude a bitch right off rip." You,
Yeah,
I mean, what? I mean, no offense. A friend is supposed to tell me when I'm fucking up. I don't need a motherfucker.
exactly. So that
Oh,
way you don't end up going out there looking
look,
bad. That's the point.
rub my shoulders for me when I'm fucking up. I don't need a motherfucker like that. And that means you have no fucking mind on your own and that you're a fucking troll. I mean, you're a fucking
Exactly.
lemon. You know what I mean? I don't need no damn lemons around me. I need a motherfucker to tell me when I'm fucking up. Then that means,
Exactly.
I hate to say it, if motherfucker don't tell me when I'm fucking up, then what? Say if I did get that big, I'd be just like his dumb ass.
Yeah, yeah. Well, then too, man. Like I look at it like this: if my wife puts on an outfit and says, "How do I look?" and she looks utterly ridiculous, I don't want her going out there making a fool out of herself. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna be honest with her. So I may hurt her feelings now for a couple minutes, but in the end, she's gonna be grateful that she didn't have to go out there looking like an idiot. Yeah, but no, it's just I like I like fucking with people that can't handle the truth. It's hilarious, man, how emotional people get. You know, it's funny, man. I like mind fucking people who are overly emotional.
See, because there's two Leslies in my thing. Look and see. Are you on two machines?
Yeah, I'm on my phone and on the computer.
Are you on the computer now or the phone, or which one?
Both. I'm talking to you on a computer, but I'm actually looking at the screen on. I mean, I'm logged into my phone now.
See
I'm
if
actually looking on my screen at the computer.
you have moderation control there, because it's not allowing me to do shit.
Yeah, because I don't have anything.
Because I gave you.
You want me to drop off? You want me to drop off and see if maybe that helps, or maybe if we all dropped off?
See, but it's
yeah?
not.
Here, I'll go ahead and drop off both lines.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a good glitch, isn't it? Yep, we're not going to allow you to end that one.
Oh, y'all want me to do it too? I'll drop off.
Yeah. Well, I'll drop off, see if that'll help. Everybody drop off for a second.
All right. Come back and pop back up.
All right.